what part of this life, and I mean the creative life, costs you the most energy?
Well, I think I speak to your audience a little bit here because, as we all know, the creativity isn't something that you flip on and off with a switch. And this book has been a real challenge from that perspective because, first of all, as you mentioned in the beginning, I'm not a book writer, never written a book, never thought of writing a book. So that is a challenge. As some days I wake up and I really want to get to it, and I'm a half hour in and I go, man, this just isn't going well. And then sometimes I'll sit down on the other side of that and say, I'm going to write for a few minutes. And 2 hours later, here I am,
Hmm.
and I look back and go, wow, that turned out really well. So the creativity part of it is really my biggest challenge in all this is really shifting into gear when I have that creativity flow going. And then when I don't, just kind of accepting, hey, today's not my day and I'm just going to have to wait for another day. So that has been by far the biggest challenge, no question.
Is you're in good company because you are among you don't know it, or maybe you do, but there's I've read a lot about writing. Um, Everyone from Patchett's on writing to Stephen King's on writing, um, and Lamott's Bird by Bird, Julia Cameron's The Way of the Artist, or Artist's Way rather. So many more. Liz Gilbert's Big Magic, and Stephen Pressfield's War of Art,
Wow.
and still more. But all of them say the same damn thing that you just identified, which is it's not a tap. You don't get to just decide. However, almost always when you show up, and if the muse and inspiration finds you and you've already got your line in the water, oof, now that's the flow you're talking about. You
Yeah.
don't get to decide sometimes, and that 5 minutes that turn into 2 hours. Oh man, when you said that, I was like, oh, that's the flow.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that's like you come out of that. Like it's funny how I myself have felt that, and then it's like working out. Like you do this thing and you feel so incredible afterwards, and yet when it comes to committing to sitting down and just going ahead and trying yet again, it feels like there's such resistance. There's such internal resistance. And even though we can know and even feel like the memory of like how something can feel, whether physically or in our soul or what have you. So it's so hard to like show up. I guess it leads into my next question. So basically all that is to say is that you're in good company. Like you're not, it's actually kind of the mark of a writer in a way. Um, which is, from me to you, hopefully that's a bit of a gift of insight I can share, because that's one of the things that helped me quite a lot.
Well, Lance, I'll say a couple things. One thing is I read what you write every week about, you write about the artists and what's going on in the industry. And I think that's amazing that you can do that. I really do. I read them and I go, how does he do this week after week? I really am impressed. I think it's exceptional. And the other
Appreciate
thing I
that.
wanted to
Thank you.
mention too, the other challenge in that book writing, get back to that, is tracking Dave and getting him to open up. And I think we had that meeting yesterday and we were talking a little bit about that. That Dave is a hard, he's such a nice guy. He doesn't want to talk bad about anybody. He's such a great, kind soul.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a challenge to get him to open up, and, especially, my gosh, if he's going to say bad about somebody, it's, it's a real challenge to get to the story. And I mean, that has been the other side of it. That has been somewhat of a challenge. So, that combination of, now you got to figure out how to say what Dave wants to say so that he's comfortable with saying it is another challenge for sure
Yeah.
in this
No,
particular
100%.
instance.